What's up, Meta Nerds? This video is all about the power-hungry creature known as the Mynock. These are silicon-based life forms, something that helped it to live without air and survive in space. And though silicon life is currently theoretical in our galaxy, it is something that we also see in the Space Slug. At an average of 2 meters long and 1.25 meters wide, it was about a Wookiee in length and a tall Jawa across. And if one of these ever showed up on Earth, it would be around half the length of a Fiat 500, and could fit in the bed of some F-150 trucks. Their reproduction method was asexual fission, just like the Exogorth, where a new Mynock would grow out of the side and split off from the original creature. It is unclear if it would be smaller or equal in size to its parent, but its minimum weight was usually 8 kilograms, about 18 pounds, which is 6 times as heavy as the largest bat on Earth, the giant golden-crowned flying fox. They would normally fly around in groups of 10, but in certain parts of the galaxy, there would be large migrations of Mynocks at the same time every year, with the largest being on the planet Rune, where there were so many that they blacked out the sun. There are many different types of Mynocks, including some that preferred to live in the salt flats or sulfur mines on the planet Locke, while there was the Vynock, which could survive in the atmospheres of Corellia, Talos, Bathui, Tatooine, and Hoth. And on the planet Indar, some were known to swoop down and attack speeder bikes that were traveling through the swamps. Each Mynock variant gets its energy not from food, but from leeching it from electrical systems in vehicles or other large creatures, as well as absorbing radiation from celestial bodies. This is why they were notorious as parasites that latched themselves onto starships, affixing its sucker mouth to the vessel, drawing all power towards it. A variety of problems could arise from this, from longer trips in hyperspace, to the failure of critical systems, or even tearing a hole into the ship if too many Mynocks were attached at the same spot. Their only predators were the tail rings, but these only affected the variants in atmosphere, while the spacefaring Mynock just had to worry about getting trapped inside of a space slug. Combinations of minerals built up in the Exogorth's enormous mouth, combined with the slug's own silicon biology, created electrical fields that attracted the Mynock. And if the slug happened to catch some ships, that was just bonus. So because of these traits, you can see why their relationship with spacers was not an amiable one, though the rest of the galaxy found some interesting ways to get along with the Mynock. Rebel forces captured some, provided them energy, and bred them in incubators so that they could unleash them on Imperial ships to cause all kinds of havoc. The Twi'lek's long history of being slaves forced them to make the best of some terrible situations, resulting in their unique Mynock cooking style that found a way to make these silicon beasts edible, and by most accounts, actually pretty tasty. The Jedi knew that these creatures had a bad reputation, and though calling someone a Mynock was a common insult, the Order decided to name a lightsaber combat form after them, Sorisu, meaning the way of the Mynock. This is said to be because it is maximally defensive, and Mynocks are very hard to eliminate, but I think there's an additional parallel that Sorisu was described as being the most energy efficient form, so that a Jedi could dodge and block, letting the attacker drain their energy before launching a counterattack. So the way of the Mynock is to gain your power from slowly draining it from your opponent. But what has to be the strangest and cruelest interaction with Mynocks in the galaxy is the practice of Mynock puffing. Some people would like to sneak up on Mynocks that were feeding, stick them with a device called a helium grenade, which filled the creature up like a balloon, growing bigger and bigger until it finally popped. So that's it for their history, but you definitely want to hear these cool facts and behind the scenes stuff. Smugglers and criminals really hated these things, not just because they stole power, but because spaceports were so scared of a Mynock infestation that they would quarantine your ship if they spotted one. This required you to pull off with security, undergo a full search, and a lengthy interrogation as to whether this was an intentional sort of bioterrorist attack or just an accident, as a single Mynock could make his way across a space station, drawing from plenty of energy to reproduce and multiply quickly. I like to think about how many masterminds were brought down by a single Mynock discovery on their hull, and they must have been seen as a sort of demon amongst criminal circles. And then there were the rarest of the Mynocks, which are believed to be sentient, evolving on the lone asteroid of MZX 32905. They became extinct, but their echoes through the Force were detected by the Sith Lord Darth Vectivus, and he believed that their sentient transformation was the result of an incredible dark side energy that he sensed on this asteroid. So that's it for the Mynock species. If you want to connect with us, help support this channel, or get your own copies of the reference material used to make this video, be sure to check out the links in the description. Special thanks to our supporters over on Patreon, and be sure to like and subscribe, or click on one of these boxes to see other videos like this. But most important of all, remember, always do a quick Mynock scan when trafficking spice, and the Force will be with you, always.